Your natural connection to Source, which has remained open since her return, will help you and your family find the frequency of gratitude and patient love that will assist you in awakening your soul's design. We now welcome you to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, and welcome to Nicole Live, Return to Consciousness. We are so very excited to talk about Mother Nature and connecting to Mother Nature. We have Dennis Allen with us again today. Hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Looks like you're outside in nature.
Hey. I am in nature, right by a river, in a patch of clover.
Yeah, perfect time to connect. We're going to start out with the winner of last week. My mom has the name Brittany Del Toro. So go ahead and contact the office and make an appointment. And thank you for your love and support on Facebook. And how she won this gratitude healing is by listening and sharing the post, also following Live with Nicole, and leaving names that you think that this show can be beneficial to assisting people into their highest good. And so as we're beginning, we're going to talk about connection and what Mother Earth, the energies Mother Earth's kind of emanating right now and how they can benefit us. So Dennis Allen, though, he was out and about, and I see that you, and I posted this on Facebook, kind of getting back noise in your, it's like really noisy. So we have, you went to collect bees, right?
I did.
Okay. And how did that work? I saw that amazing. I was like, oh, how many bees was that?
That was about 30 to 60,000 bees. I didn't count them all exactly, but I've been a beekeeper for about 4 years, and I got a new set of bees for 3 of my hives, and it was actually really awesome. I went with my dad, and my dad, for the first time, I got him in a bee suit, and he was helping to put the bees in their new home. It was really, really something special.
Nice. So bees, I know, hold a very special place for Mother Earth. Do you have that information of the beauty that they bring, or the purpose that they share with Mother Earth and the trees?
They do a really significant role in nature. Bees, they have a stewardship that they go and they travel to the flora and the fauna, the flowers. And from the flowers, they collect pollen. And they also serve the flowers, and they serve all sorts of plants by pollinating. They're incredible pollinators. And so because of the bees, the plants are able to grow and to become more abundant. And then the bees, they receive that pollen, they pack it in, they have their special way of making the pollen turn it into honey, and that's another. I love honey. It's really delicious.
Yeah, I do too. It also assists the pollen in growing, or not the plants in growing, and I'm not sure about that information, but I believe that from moving the pollen to the trees and whatnot, it's actually carrying a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a sense of communication. The bees are able to kind of serve as intermediaries. They're helping, but there's just a real sense of connectedness as you just pause and watch a bee. And you know what? I will send you I'll send you some really cool videos from my bees from before, and you could put those up on the website so people can kind of see for themselves. Just when you're up close and personal watching the bees, you get a real deep sense of connection that the bees are connected to the plants, the trees, to the flowers, and we also are connected to the plants, the trees, and flowers. We're all very much connected to Mother Earth.
Yes, we are. So for me, I've had some major downloads or transmissions or energies move through me this week, and I have reached out to people, and clients have reached out to me about this new moon, or this this moon that's coming up, and it's pink and it's beautiful. It's also the Good Friday. And so this week for me has been really interesting, and I'm going blank a lot. So I apologize to you all, but again, I'm showing up the best I can. And that is what I encourage my clients to do right now. Because there's such a shift in Mother Earth that we're all feeling disoriented at sometimes. We are like, things that we repeatedly do, we're forgetting how to do them. And one of the things this week that has really stood out with my clients is the insecurities that have come with that. And so grounding into Mother Earth is very, very important, because when you're flying around like a bee, just fearless, just weightless, freeless, you tend to not download the information that's coming to you. So you're not internalizing it. And sometimes that creates your brain to kind of go on a pause, because this also moves into the way that Mother Earth is moving into a frequency that we haven't felt before. So when you're thinking that your life is chaotic, and you're thinking you're having memory or health problems because you're floating around like a bee, say, and you have these daily things that you do that you're forgetting, I want to encourage people to really practice this meditation we're going to do today, and look at what's happening around you and embrace it. Embrace it as it's changing, and embrace the newness, because there's a lot of new earth energies moving up. There's a lot of movement inside of Mother Earth, and it's really exciting. And instead of pausing and trying to analyze it and trying to find out if something's wrong with you, sit with that and embrace the movement, because that is growth. And so the bee story, and then this information that I've got was very interesting to me. And so your connection to Mother Earth is very strong. You are out in the outdoors quite often, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So we have some questions for you that people have either sent in or that we've received that will assist others in ways that you practice to stay grounded. They've also called them, or people are invited. I encourage you to write or call in or ask, email, whatever way that you can get a hold of us for questions, because I promise there's might be a question that you don't dare ask, but when you do, there's somebody else that it will benefit to, and sometimes they don't know how to ask the question. So you can always email us at energyhealingbydesign@gmail.com, or follow us on Facebook, and in the comments we always will respond to you. So Connie Ashton is also here today, and she is going to ask the questions that the listeners have for us.
Okay, this question is for Dennis, and you had many that were submitted, so I'm just going to do a couple of them for right now. One of them is, when my kids come home from school or my spouse home from work, their energy can sometimes seem a little bit weighed down. What are ways I can help re-energize and lift them?
So that's a great question. So there's a lot of simple things you can do. One, back to the bees, I think embodying the energy is probably the biggest thing. Bees come home every night, they go back into the hive. And I feel like, so when your loved ones come home, a simple thing that you can do is called brush offs. And that's a lot of times we carry a lot of energy weight on our shoulders. So silently you can kind of brush their shoulders off, and they might not know what you're doing, but that's a simple, interesting trick that helps them feel a little bit more energetically lightened up. And then just working on yourself, I think, is a channel breathing is another really powerful thing. But brush offs is a cute and fun little trick.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, I have another question for you. Some people and some situations really bother me. I can be fine, and then all of a sudden it's not. Now this is interesting. And then all of a sudden it's like life throws me a series of sucker punches with a kick to the groin. How does that fit in the plan? is there a way I can harness that energy for my benefit?
Ooh, that's a really good question, because we all have experiences, and I feel like in this life we have friction, and we can choose to friction is part of life. That's not what we can that's a given, but how we choose to where we choose the friction, that's a different situation. We can bring it internally, and we can look at situations to bring us to our own awareness. Oh, interesting. I've got an energetic charge from that particular thing. Bring it to your core, sense where in the body you feel it, and send an extra squeeze, a hug, an energy love to that area of your body, and allow the energy flow to show up a little bit more. Everything is always serving our highest purpose. And a lot of times I've been fortunate to see people when they transition on their, they're ready to pass out of this life. And it's interesting, the comments that people make at that time is, it's all been good, that everything's served its purpose, the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the sucker punches and kicks to the groins. And they will serve you in a very powerful way if you allow them, and if you choose to notice where in your body you feel it, and notice what deep wisdom you can glean from it. I think those are some ways to kung fu the energy and to serve you well.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that question. So I just wanted to, there was a question that I had, and it was, what is connection? What does it mean to connect? And that is very interesting to me. When I first began my discovery of what it is that I was here for, so I had gone through the process of healing my body, of, the dying, the returning, the awakening, healing my body. And now I'm moving into being in this world and not of it, to really embrace this unconditional love and know how to show it without absorbing the worldly collective consciousness. And so I went on a discovery of what connection was. And I went to these light workers. I went to card readers, and we went and discovered every avenue you could think of. And each one of them had a different idea of what connection looks like. And mine being very intense, and I'm not knowing what my connection is yet, or I hadn't discovered the divinity that it was. I didn't know, so they didn't know. So therefore, it put me in this spiral. So I invite you to allow yourself to connect to the brightest light imaginable. This God creator that loves you so much, when you feel that in your heart, and you can feel your truth, and even if you don't know what that looks like yet, there is this feeling within inside of your heart, then that's your connection. Your connection looks different than mine. Mine looks different than yours. Mine looks different than Connie's. Connie's looks different than Dennis's. It is about you finding your space of bliss, what is really, really bringing joy to your soul. So that question stood out to me the most, because when we are sharing and telling people or inviting them to connect, a lot of people don't understand what that means. And in reality, there's actually 7+ billion people, so there's 7 billion different connections. So it's embracing who's guiding you and then guiding your own. It's all about you discovering what works for you. And that to me, I feel like that brings a lot of aspects that we try to teach together. But if you're going to start with one thing, start with the connection and what that looks like. So when we say connect to Mother Earth, okay, what is that? What does that mean? So
I think that's a great point to bring up. I mean, connection is such a really vital thing, and really, I think your intention behind it, if you just simply ask yourself the question, how do I connect, or in what ways can I connect, or what does my connection look like, or where do I sense the connection I feel? There's no wrong way in doing it. It will show up, and you're right, it's so individual for everybody. And just by trying it, just by experimenting with it, you'll discover something very powerful and profound.
Yeah, make it your own. Make it your own. And step into that uncomfortable zone. And like I said, this moon energy is about breaking apart physical belief systems. It's really creating a wave in people, and especially relationships. And that is why this channeled meditation, I feel, is so important to kind of go in to learn to clear and to really bring you back into this unconditional love, so that you can start responding to each other, because there's a quick reaction. I learned from my clients this week that they're responding and they're reacting to their spouses really quickly without thinking. And I trust that it's this energy that's moving. And instead of thinking of it as a negative flow that's moving through Earth or moving to Earth, that isn't it at all. It is that it's different. And that's why stepping into this uncomfortable space is so important, to create a comfort zone in it, not necessarily one you stay in, but a comfortable, not a comfortable place to grow.
I think it's interesting as you say that too. When the reason why it's uncomfortable is because it's unfamiliar. Mm-hmm. And once you become familiar with your connection, or once you become familiar with how this newness is, this new types of energy, new higher vibrational thinking or feeling shows up for you, it becomes more and more familiar, and the uncomfortableness disappears. And Dr. Sue Motor talks about this in her book, The Energy Codes, but there's a really powerful concept of expanding and anchoring in everything. So you have moments where you feel this great joyful bliss, and you're expansive, and your hands go up in the air and you're super excited. And then there's moments where you're anchoring, where you feel anger, you feel shame, you feel sad, and those points serve to ground you, kind of like a jellyfish moving through the waters. It expands and then it anchors, and that anchoring gives you propulsion moving forward, and to have moments for expansion to move out. So there's some ebbs and flows in the, I guess, like a wave, a tide of the universal energy, some ups and downs, some anchoring and expansion. And I think that's kind of something to notice too with this new moon.
And that's really interesting, because my coaching call this morning was about allowing this new energy to come in, and the expansion of the body, and how important it was, because the connection we're focused on a lot. The connection is coming in so fast, and us that understand that and are riding it, or are healers, or light workers, or way showers, or experiencers, whatever that looks like, are really getting this bombarded. They're getting bombarded with this energy. However, I learned today that without the expansion, or the thought, I guess, awareness of expansion, that we're just getting hit and we're forgetting to ground into Mother Earth. And so it feels uncomfortable and heavy. And the first go-to thing for most people is it's a shadow or a negative energy, or there's something wrong with them, and it's an illness. And it's not. It's not. There's so much coming right now to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth has so much coming up to her, that it's the physical form is constricting, but when you intently focus on the expansion, you're going to feel the energies move through you. So it's very interesting time right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, Connie, do you have another question over there?
Yes, I have a whole bunch.
Hey.
But this one, Nicole, is for you. It is. Sometimes I feel depressed and sad for no reason. How do I know if this is mine, or I am feeling someone else's emotions?
So that's very interesting, and it's a huge answer. But really, what you get to do is understand that you're an empath, that were born sensitive, you were born open, you were born awake. All these things that people have shared about empaths is true. And when you step into the saying, like, you know what, I'm having an off day, and it's okay to not be okay. That's the beginning of you really, really starting to take back your power. Then you move into the clearing. See, because you're realizing something's off, but you're not giving it power. You're just like, wow, something needs attention. This zeroes out the energy. Now you bring your energy in, and you connect to that higher self, higher power, that God creator. You bring down the light, and you move it into Mother Earth and really ground. We're focused so much on grounding right now, because just like an electrical current, unless it's grounded, it short circuits. Or like the river, if it gets blockage, what does it do? It overflows, or it backs up. So when you are sitting in that space, your mind now, the psychological part of you is okay. You know what? I'm here. We're neutral now, because I just told myself, because we as humans want permission to do things usually. So now you gave your permission to that it's okay not to be okay. And now your body shifts. It shifts, and it's allowing this light. It's allowing you to create more clarity. And then you take the situation, you take this idea of suffering, this idea of somebody else's stuff, is what they said. And you really bring out this emotion. You go into that heart space and ask yourself, is this true? Does this really require a response that's going to take a lot of my energy? And it's really a knowing of your body, getting to know what your body feels like. But first you get to fill your body up with light, so you know what you feel like. Most people don't know how brilliant their light is. And so they're open to anybody else's idea. When you don't know how you feel, when you're not aware of your body, you're open to anybody else's stuff. So just like when you're driving a car and there's an open space, right? There's empty space, you're going to put someone else is going to go in there, right? So if you're not aware of your energy, and you're not, your centers, your chakra system isn't flowing correctly, then there's empty spaces, and something's going to fill it. So going back to how do you know if it's yours or not? It's practice. It's practice moving into yourself, knowing you so much that you can ask that question and know if that's a regular response you have. And if it is, and you have a grumpy day, sit with that, in that it's okay not to be okay moment, and find yourself. Find where this emotion is occupying and taking up rent in your energy, because everyone's true self is peace and bliss. We are created in this magnificent light, and it's unconditional love, and we are here to experience love and greatness. Outside of that, it's something that's in our belief system or our structure. So
love that. It's well said.
So in the next half hour, when we do the meditation, we will clear some energies, and I want you to be really present. So this listener that had this question, be very present of how your body feels after the meditation. That is your true self. That is your true state of being, that blissful peace. So
I think it's powerful too, that if it is yours or if it's somebody else's, the good news is you are magnificent. And like when we do that, I think that's powerful, Nicole, helping people to show into that. But I think as divine beings, as our higher self people, that greatness that we are, our own magnificence, we are here to create order out of chaos. We are the ones to bring stability to places that are unstable.
It looks like we're going to our 5-minute break, and then we will be right back with Connie, Dennis, and Nicole. Thank you for listening.
This is Henry Fogel, inviting you to join me on the next edition of Collector's Corner, which is heard every week on this radio station. The next program, an extraordinary version of Mozart's Don Giovanni from the Salzburg Festival in 1937, conducted by Bruno Walter and featuring the great Ezio Pinza in the title role. On the next edition of Collector's Corner.
Collector's Corner, Mondays from 11 till 1 on Radio St. George 100.3.
The city of St. George is one of the fastest growing communities in the United States and is world renowned for its outdoor activities. sgcity.org/event calendar is a complete list of all the events the city of St. George puts on. Pickleball, swimming, festivals, classes, camps, and lessons for old and young alike. A list of things so long we can't say them all here. Find out what's happening in St. George at sgcity.org/event calendar.
The Dixie State University Police Department encourages students, faculty, and staff to sign the Start by Believing pledge on campus in the Holland Continental Commons. Start Believing, an international public awareness campaign launched by the End of Violence Against Women's International in 2011, aims to change how society responds to disclosures of sexual assault.
Addiction is an epidemic, and the lines of communication need to be opened. I'm Heston Cherry, and Mondays at 3, we open up and share our stories from addiction to recovery to hope and resources. There is light at the end of the tunnel of addiction. Mondays at 3 on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Listen to Footlight Parade, Sunday evenings at 8 on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
You're listening to Radio St. George 100.3 FM. We now welcome you back to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, and welcome back. I just want to first start with a huge gratitude for all those listeners and the people that respond and that are growing with us. Because a reminder, this is our third show, and we are just beginning this beautiful journey, and stepping into the uncomfortable is very fun. I keep telling myself that. So
Absolutely.
growing together and really moving into a higher consciousness and connection. And consciousness is love and unity. It's when you start to observe the space of infinite possibilities. And it's when you are able to really love people where they are in their experience. So we are going to take callers next week. I wanted to today. However, I did not learn the board, and I want to have this part down first, and then we are going to move. And I'm so grateful for all you amazing people that are supporting us as we learn to really extend this hour to you guys, and we really show up and give you our all. My greatest intention behind this was, how can I assist more people at once? One-on-one clients and of healing is amazing, and I honor and I'm very much in gratitude of it. And I've learned everything I know from the clients. And however, I knew that there was a way to assist more people at once. And this opportunity here that Sean Denovan allowed and opened up for me is really a space where I feel can connect a lot of people that are ready to return to consciousness and to awaken their soulful self. So today I did something a little different. I usually just channel as I go, and I found that with this newness of this radio station that I was forgetting what I was saying, or I was checking out. So I woke up and I wrote a meditation that I'm going to share today. So we will share that, and then the time that's left, we will go ahead and return to asking questions. So I'm just going to invite you to sit back and relax. Really open up to higher possibilities, to an higher expression of you. And much gratitude to be here with you and serve at this level of light. We call down the Creator light to surround us in a brilliant pink light. Open, breathe, and relax. Allow the light to move through each energy center from the top of your head through the center of your body, aligning and balancing you to your design. Open, breathe, relax. Allow the white light to move through you, to move through each center of your body, merging the white light and the pink light. Witness the lights swirling like a DNA strand, flowing from above the top of your head through the core of your body. Bring your awareness to the current of energy. So this energy current that we are creating together. Bring this energy down, move it to the right of you, to the left of you, to the front, to the back, above and below. Clearing and cleansing each organ, blood, bone, every cell of your body. Open, breathe, and relax. Guiding the light through the breath into Mother Earth. Move the energy down through Mother Earth, connecting to the very heart core of Mother Earth. Remember this space of unconditional love. And now share with her that love that you are feeling for every breath that you take, for all the things that she provides us. Witness the light within Mother Earth. And remember, she multiplies all things and returns them tenfold. Open, breathe, and relax. As the light of Mother Earth expands, modifies the energy is now becoming your design. It's remembering your design. Breathe up the energy of unconditional love and nurturing. Move the light up through the crystalline caves where your energy design is held, your blueprint, your purpose. Move this through the dirt and the clay. This is your physical design, the very form you were born to experience. Move the light into the grass and the plants, where you attract nutrients, the water, the air. Cultivate the earth's elements, preparing to align to your highest light and to the perfect health of your body. Imagine your feet planted deeply in Mother Earth, standing right on that grass, deeply planted. Breathe, soften, and relax. Imagine you're a tree trunk. Now breathe through the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, this beautiful creation of light. Witness the light move out the top of your head, around your auric fields. You're being filled with unfailing love, support, and unity. Allow Mother Earth's love to return tenfold. Now you're connected to everything above and everything below. Now bring your awareness to the heart center. Breathe, soften, and relax, allowing your heart to receive this unfailing love and feel your connection to everything above and everything below. Get stronger and stronger and stronger as it expands your consciousness. Imagine your body from the core growing limbs, branches, sprouting flower, buds, creating beauty, creating life. Breathe in the connection, the light, and breathe out anything that doesn't serve you. Witness that you are connected in all life forms, the plants, the animals, all things that Mother Earth has gifted us. You now are connected to all things. This is the higher heart chakra, which is called the moon. One heart, one soul, here on Mother Earth to experience unconditional love and unity. Bring your awareness back into your body. Wiggle your hands and your feet. Bringing back your awareness here to the here and now. And now you're ready to return to consciousness. And so it be, and so it be, so it be. So it looks like we lost Dennis, but there we go. So as you are now in this experience of light, really grounded to the earth, and you're connected to everything above, sit with yourself. Be with you in the now. As you vibrationally are expanding and learning these new earth energies, witnessing people around you adjusting as well. Share this connection with them. It's right here in the heart space. So as we move into the questions, my mom, Connie Ashton, has some more questions for me.
Okay, yes, I do. One of the questions that was asked was, if I have a bad day, can it affect those around me?
So one thing I do teach is being responsible for your energy. And what that looks like is, yes, just like someone can influence you, you do influence others. So keeping what Dennis calls it is spiritual hygiene, is moving through your body, moving through your chakras, and really connecting every day and clearing and cleansing each one of those. So imagine, like he says, if you shower more than once a year, right? And so keeping your energy cleared and cleansed is also very much needed, not only for yourself, for your consciousness, for your alignment, but it also helps the energy fields around you. So when you walk into a room, you've probably recognized that somebody in there is having an off day, and you do absorb it. So imagine when you are having a bad day and you walk into a room and you're thinking everybody else is frustrated, everybody else is in this mood like you. That's when you really get the opportunity to sit back, do this breath work, really just go within. When you are in clarity and you are in an observing space, you are able to say, whoa, I am affecting that person, negative or positive. So when you are doing your practices daily, do an energy check, do an energy scan, especially if you are a healer or an energy worker that is in with people all the time. Because I recognize I have many stories where I actually had energy around me that from other people that I hadn't cleared yet. And I would say go home and my mom would react a certain way, and I'd be like, wow, that is the same response my client was having. And so through clients, I had to come to the understanding that even my energy, by not clearing my outer energy, even if I wasn't feeling it and I was having an amazing day, I would walk in and someone would respond to me like a client was, like what we just cleared from a client. So yes, you definitely influence others by your energy. So that goes back to the empath too. is why it's so important to scan and know your body and your frequency so well, or the energies around you. And that all starts within. Your body gives you indicators. Your physical will always show up. The aches and the pains, the things that people have the idea of suffering from, there's always an emotional or an energetic tie to that. Always. So and sometimes they don't understand it's happened from a child, or they it also in another person can be somebody else's. So again, that's why it's so important to really understand your energy and how it influences others. So, is there any other questions?
Yes. Okay. These next two relate to your dying. One of the questions is, when you died, what did you experience in the light?
So when I crossed over, the light was so magnificent that sometimes I have to go into that space because I don't want to get emotional over it about it, because then I'll have a hard time talking. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from these two angels came and got me, these two light beings, whatever that looks like to you. I do identify them with angels. And they put me in this most magnificent light, so full of unconditional love and mercy. I felt this masculine and this feminine energy around me. I got to see my past, present, and future, and I got to understand forgiveness. And while in that light, I had an opportunity to know what I was coming back for. I can't even explain it on an energetic level that anyone would understand, but I do know that in this universe, in this beautiful white light, there is this system of cooperation, this harmony that has lights, and it has frequencies, it has sounds, it has vibrations, and it is so full of joy. So full of joy. And when I felt and heard that I was created in greatness, and that I was coming back to experience love and to share love and to really experience life. And the biggest thing that I have even came close to is the joy, probably the joy of having grandbabies. You get that authentic, pure light joy. And I knew that when I came back from crossing over, when I went into my body, that if I brought that harmony, that joy, that unconditional love, I would be able to heal my body and walk again. And that is what I did. I aligned that beautiful universal connection and patterning and sounds and vibrations into my body. And after 18 months, I was able to walk and talk again by believing that white light loved me, and that universe is conspiring, this universal love, this unconditional love is conspiring for me to do great things. I just needed to listen. And when I did, I was able to walk and talk, and now I learned to be in this world and share it with others. So thank you for that question.
There's another one that kind of relates to that, and it's, did you want to return after being in the light?
So that's very interesting. I believe there was a process in the light, because the more I remember and the more I work with people that have NDEs, near-death experiences, I realize that a lot of them don't want to come back, and they come back with some kind of resentment or anger for coming back. And I've kind of narrowed it down to a timeline. I was able to go through a point that I got to see my future. I got to see and witness what I'm doing now. But if I didn't see that, I wouldn't have wanted to come back, because you feel this bliss, you feel this purpose, you feel where you came from. You are so in love with being in love. And then you get put into a body that is structured in suffering. For the collective consciousness from all times, it has been in war. So our physical body itself is always in war with itself. So when you're thinking these things are attacking you and you have these energetic things happen that are identified with shadows or whatnot, that is always the go-to thing. But in reality, that's not true. And it's another show. But in reality, your body itself is in a constant breakdown of lineage and ancestral belief systems and that have been passed on through the blood, the bone. All the DNA is full of all of the sorry but junk that has been created since we were here. So my answer to that is I was excited to come back. When I was moving through this tunnel back into my body, I witnessed my body laying there. It was all water and one light. And I knew that when I grabbed this light that I had created in this 10 minutes being dead and moved it into that body, that I would awaken and I would do great things, that I would be in the service, the service of the light, of the God, creator, whatever that looks like to you, that I would be able to shift awareness in anyone that's ready. And that is what I do. That is what I live for today. And if I wouldn't have came back, I don't know what it would be like. However, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not in much gratitude that I made it back into my body and that I'm able to serve at this level of light. And thank you to whoever asked that question. And we encourage the questions because there's so many that I get emailed all the time, and there's not enough time in this hour. Plus, sometimes like today, I got started off a little rough. All of a sudden, I went blank. So I'm telling you about this moon. I was so excited because last week I came in, I did all the buttons right. I'm like, yes, I got it. I got this. And then I sat down in the chair today and I forgot it. So I am telling you, it's these questions and these things to keep the show going and interact is so, we're just in so much gratitude for it. And is there any more questions?
Yes. I have to read these as they come in. Okay, there is so much about finding our peace, our true self, and dealing with things we don't want or need. How do I start? So where would they begin to find that inner peace or to find that happy self that they're looking for, that joy?
So remember, all my answers and anything I ever share is through my travels and my clients, and I just barely learned to read and things like that. So I tap into the things that I have witnessed in clients, and I'm telling you to sit down and write down what you want, because a lot of people are unhappy in where they're at without a map of what they even want. So therefore, when you get that in return, it doesn't create joy because it's not really what you wanted, but yet you don't have an idea what you really want. So really move back into your childlike state. Go back to when you were younger. What was your favorite color? Start there. This is going to start trickling in remembrances of what your childlike, that is your purest form of you. This is where you're going to pick up things and memories like, oh man, I love the color green. I love to be outside. I love the water. I didn't like to get dirty, but I loved to climb trees. You find out what you want and what, I don't like to focus on what you don't want, but by doing this map of intent, this map of creation, you get to see what it is that you even want. And then it expands. So find that one thing. And even if in your daily stuff, find this, just keep a notepad by you, and things that bring you much joy, write them down. Because as fast as the world's going right now, and as hard as life is hitting some people, finding your joy and love for yourself is becoming really, I don't want to say difficult because that just makes it more, but for a better word, or for lack of a better word, difficult. And so as you are stepping inside of yourself, really, really start writing down and do the work. So, and remember, you can always find me, ask me questions. I do personal healings. I'm here in St. George, and you can contact us at energyhealingbydesign.com or follow us on Live with Nicole on Facebook. And we have Podbean, Radio St. George, Podbean Live with Nicole. So these meditations and things will be available to you after the show. So we are very excited, and thank you for growing this beautiful community with us. And remember, step into you. Be the best version of yourself. Thank you. Until next week, I'm Nicole.